Hi everyone, welcome to BumbleBeeCrafts. Thanks for tuning in to another video from me. So I'm carrying on from Monday's video in today with the lovely bird traveller's notebooks that I'm making, the two that I'm doing. So I went ahead and did finish the cover on this one. I've put some book corners on, a little eyelet with some lovely hand-dyed ribbon closure. We've got some lace on the spine, and there's also, I started to put some lace on the pages. So what I want to do is get the second journal to the same stage of this one, and I said in my last video that I would show you how I put together the flippy flap bits, just as a reminder if there's anybody that wasn't sure on how I would do them and put them in. So I've got 2 pages that I want to do, and then we can finish putting this journal together at the same as this one. So let's pop that one to the side, and I will put those over there as well. So these are the 2 pages that I want to finish off. These are the flaps that I've created. I've just chosen my image that I want, and I've put coffee dye paper on the back, and this is going to clip into that one, and this one is the same. It's got coffee dye on the back, and it's going to go on there. So if we do this one first, I think what I would do first is I just need to decide, am I going to round the corners on this one? I think I would like these corners rounded. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I just think that would look nicer on there. That's my middle, so I'm going to just, I didn't want to cut off too much. That's the middle line. So what I'm just going to do is mark it about here, and that is where I'm going to score. But first of all, I need to ink everywhere. So I'm going to ink along this edge because it's going to be easier to do it now before we glue this in. So I'm just going to go around the whole page. We can touch up any other little bits afterwards when it's all glued together. That's that side, and while we're at it, we'll just do the whole piece of paper. So how's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing well. Hope you've been enjoying these journal makes these last few weeks. I know I've not been doing anything new, trying any experimenting with different bits of ephemera. Oh, I do apologise, that's probably going to pick up on the my camera. Sounds like an ambulance. Unfortunately, that is usually commonplace because we have a nursing home at the end of our road. So sad, very, very sad. I hope whoever it is okay. So I'm just going to ink this as well. Actually, I usually wait, don't I, until I've scored it before I finish inking. Ambulance threw me off. Okay, so let me grab my scoreboard from the side of me, and we've got a little mark, and I've got a line here, a black Sharpie, which I can use for things that I'm not actually measuring out. So like this doesn't fit the 9.5 line where I've marked it, so I use my little score line here. It's great for when you're doing envelopes as well, because you can line it up here and you've got your black line to see to line it up there, and then you can score a straight line down there. So this is the little flap that's going to go in. Just pop that down there. Now we can finish inking this. So yeah, you guys seem to have been enjoying the journals. They've been in my to make journal pile for quite some time, so I am sticking to one of my words of this year, which is finish it, so that I get journals finished and everything like that I wanted to get done. And I've done a bit of experimenting because that was the other word that I had. I couldn't decide between the two, so I decided to have them both. Yeah, we've been doing new things on our Fabric Friday, trying lots of new different ways that we can use our fabric. But I want to get back to doing in April some more paper crafting. I want to do some like paper clusters. I want to do a paper version of the snippet roll. There's lots of different ideas. So we've created our little flap. It's about, well, it's 2 centimeters, this one. As long as you've got about 1.5 centimeters, which is about 1/2 inch, that you can just tuck in there, that will create a nice little hold for that flap. So we're ready to glue this now. Do I want this right at the very bottom or in the middle? I think I'm going to have it in the middle, slap bang in the middle. So all I do now is just put some glue on this little flap here. And then we can glue it in place. I kind of have it so that it's like that, and that stops it. You can feel the edge of the page, and that's usually a good guide to getting it nice and flush. Just smooth that down like so. I just open that back out, make sure none has leaked out there. And that is all in place. And as we've only done the one on here, we can go ahead and glue these 2 pages together. Now I put extra glue on this end. Normally, you see I just go round the outside, but I go round this as well and on here, because I want a really nice strong adhesive and strong sticking power, because it's going to have a lot of wear and tear being flipped open. If you're unsure of it being secure enough in here, then you can always add some washi tape over the top just to reinforce it, or a bit of fabric on the top, but I've never had a problem with any of them that I've done. And I do use my journals, I do journal and use some of the ones that I've made that haven't made it to the shop. They've made it to my bookcase instead. Okay, so that's in there. I'm just going to make sure we're all sealed around the edges and all along here. Lovely. So now just leave that to the side to dry, and then we want to do exactly the same with this one that's going to go on this side. So let's do some inking. It's quite a breezy, windy day today, but it's mild. It's I think the weather app said it was about going to be about 14 degrees today, which is a nice mild spring day. So I've got some windows on security throughout the house. The garden room's open, which pleases the cats, and so's we've got a little porch as well, which I've opened the internal door because the cats, it's almost like a little outside area kind of thing, and there's no heating or anything in it and stuff, and I've got a couple of plants in there, And my cat Ghost absolutely loves sitting on the little bench out there just watching all the birds in the magnolia and all the blackbirds that rummage around all in the leaf undergrowth and everything. Yeah, he loves that. And my other little girl Takana enjoys the quieter back garden view. She's got her little hidey hole pyramid if she's not on my rocking chair. Okay, so we're nearly done with that, and let's explore this again. So yeah, I've even got the window open in here, or on security in here. It's a nice spot of fresh air coming in. Okay, so I'm just going to take this ever so, just a thin line over into the brown, so that's what have we got, just over 1.5 inches, about 1 3/4 centimeters this time, but it's just so that brown has got a little bit like that, and the white's all going to be tucked in. That's good. Just wondering if I want that one corner rounded as well. Okay, we don't need the scoreboard. I can pop that back. I think I might round the corners as well on this one. I can't remember if I did on the other one. I'm not sure, but they don't have to be identical, these journals, but like the twin journals of the Daffodil and Daisy that I made, they were very, very similar, and so are these, but there were elements that were different. And I want to do the same with these two. So we can do exactly the same with this. It's just on the opposite side as we did the other page. And let's just run some glue on here. I can hear a little bird tweeting outside my window. I'm wondering if they're going to nest in the roof again. They did last year. They did where my window is right in front of me, they nest up to that side. It's very close to the join in between our two houses. So do I want this one? I think I'm going to go almost to the bottom with this one because we've got this little bit here. So I think that would work nicely there. So that's down on that side. Let's make sure we're all smooth on here. There we go. So do exactly the same. Go round and fix this one in place. Do a bit of extra glue all along here. And then carry on with the rest of the page. We haven't had any takers in our bird boxes on the wall yet this year. I know the hedge sparrows did try last year. I'm not sure if they were successful though. But we haven't had the amount of hedge sparrows in our back garden. I think since COVID, so many people on our little estate have been chopping their trees down in their garden and yeah, getting rid of lots of markers, if you like, for birds, because when they're flying in they like to have markers, and will fly to different trees and everything before they then come to certain gardens to feed and everything. And we've noticed that from the view from our house anyway, you can see so many gardens have lost their trees, and they weren't exactly big trees or anything like that. There we go, that one's done and dried as well. Okay, but yeah, it's sad that we've lost a lot. Hopefully they'll come back. So I've got some ribbon to do exactly the same with this. I did do the ribbon and the what are they called? Book corners, that's it. Oh, I lost my words there. Book corners and the lace after I'd sewed the signature in. So I think I will do exactly the same again this time round. So this was going to be our front cover, and this was our centre page. We've got a couple of plain pages here. There's no flippy flaps on here, they're just digital pages. What else have we got? We've got a couple of 3 different folded papers from Coffee Dye. We've got another digital here that's been folded. There's another bit of a bird digital there, and some digital maps. I've got some book pages here that have already been cut down, so just as soon as those are dry we can start putting the journal together. So that's the front, isn't it? I'm going to leave the front in there, leave the pages there, and we would start with this one. So let's just have a look in here. Just done this as a double knot just to hold it, but it's loose enough and it's silky enough that it comes undone easily. Yeah, because I had that at the front, so I've got that in the centre. So yeah, you can see I haven't put anything else in this yet. That's going to go on that page. I forgot to do the flip flap with that one. When I backed it, I cut it out completely, not leaving enough on the edge. So we're going to I want to do something with that. Maybe hinge that with a bit of fabric or washi. But we've got some vintage lace. This is lovely vintage lace. So's this. All in here. I found some feathers, some die cut feathers. I think I must have got in a Happy Mail. So there's a few little elements that I've already started to do in here. Oh, I've put this in as well. This little flip pocket is just the right size for a traveller's notebook. And then yeah, that one's going to go on there. So as you can see, I don't cut the pages. Because I've done a lot of folding with the pages, like this one's folded, this book page is folded, but I do like to put some lace on them. If it was all plain and the edges were flush, like this one is a straight edge, there's no flap here, then I would before I sewed it in, I would cut them all level, just use my metal ruler and a sharp craft knife and just go down and trim all the pages. But I like a little bit of lace looking on my traveller's notebook journals. So that's that one. I'll just wrap that round there for now. Alright, we should be dry enough with these. I do feel this one feels better. The other thing that I do like to do is I will score the page when it's been folded and glued like this. It just, for me, it just makes it much easier to, we've got a little pinch there anyway, haven't we? Just makes it a bit easier to fold neatly. So which way are we having it? Just so that one is going to, when you go there, that flips out, or we have it that way, opens and flips out. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go this way with this one. Yeah, you just get a much neater fold, no creasing in the middle. There, all nice and smooth. So I need to just pinch this middle bit, and then that pinch goes into the top of here. There we go. And that folds up. Again, another nice neat book page, not book page, digital page that I created. Okay, how are we doing for time? 20 minutes, that's not too bad. Okay, so I always start with my centre page and work out. So I think I want to put a book page on here. And do we want go with this page on here, just to give it a bit of different level, and we will have one of the flip out pages next. So a bit of book page, coffee dye paper should I say, then I think that digital would look nice. Okay, I think I'm going to go with the book page on here. Plain digital. Another piece of coffee dye. And while I'm doing this, I'm keeping hold of them and making them quite tight, because that makes it easier for when we come to put our clips on, which I'll just take the lid off there, and our clips for binding the journal. There we go, that's nice and tight. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with this one here, although that's short and that's short. Okay, let's change that to one of those. And have that right down the bottom. No, I'm not actually. I'm going to have the map next, I think. Does it open? There it opens. Yeah, the map down there. Then I'm going to have this one. Does that? That goes there. That goes there. Putting that there. This page. The last coffee dye page. And then the front page of the journal. And that's there all together. Okay. So what I do now is, because it's quite small going in here, I will position it in here using my fingers just to keep that down nice and tight while we clip it. Go the other end and clip that page. Make sure we're tight in that gap and clip that one in. And make sure we are tight in here and clip that in. And then that is all nice and tight. Lovely. Okay. So I've got my needle, I got my awl, and I used, what colour thread did I use on this one? That's the centre. I did use the brown, I thought I did. So I just measure out 3 lengths of the journal. And where are my scissors? Thread it through. Now I've watched a video from Tracy Fox recently where she was going back to basics in showing how you do things, and she, just looking at this thread, it looks like it's been snipped. I'm going to get another bit of thread. I don't trust that bit. I'm not seen that before on here. Okay, let's get another bit of thread. Yeah, so I was saying that she went back to basics and she showed a slightly different way of how she sewed in the 3-hole pamphlet stitch for a journal. Now, I first saw the way to do it from Gail, and that's how I've been doing it, but Tracy showed it a slightly different way, so I'm gonna do that this time round. I'm sure I did it on this one. I don't know if it actually shows it. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you the different way that I'm going to do it this time round. Okay, so I've got a self-healing mat, so I'm not bothered about pressing it down onto my mat. But if you haven't got anything, use a book to push it down into. And I just eyeball, I don't measure, I just eyeball and then push that through, and I like to come down about 1 inch from the top, push that through, and the same with the bottom, come in about 1 inch and then push that through. Okay, so she went, the way I saw Tracy Fox do it, but she went out the hole, that was fine. Hold on to your thread. She then came in this hole, exactly the same. If I can get it in, yeah, there we go. But instead of going back down that hole, which is the way I've done it before, so that you come out here, you go into here, come out, and then you can knot them, she went all the way across to this one. And then what she did was come back up this middle one instead. Sorry, I'm off camera so that I can see that. Yeah, she came back into this one. So there's 2 ways of doing it. I think I need to pull this a bit tighter. There we go. So I can see my thread. And what she does was come up the other side of the thread. So you've got one this side and one this side of this centre middle bit. And then she just pulled it tight, making sure that one end was pulled down first, like so. Make sure that's really, really tight. It feels a little bit looser on that top bit. I don't know if it's... It does feel a bit better now. So yeah, I just pull it as tight as I can and then just knot it. And to be honest, both ways do good on the journal. So I'm just going to do 3. I always do 3 knots. Okay, so now we're ready to take these off. And that is all nice and tight in here. So let's do our little bow. I always do a double bow when I'm doing these. It's wax linen, so it shouldn't come undone anyway. And then just pull that tight. and I just want to cut that excess bit off. I'm not hanging any dangles or anything on this, just knotting it in the middle. So that is a different way of doing the 3-hole pamphlet, and to be honest, I like both ways. Yeah, I do like both ways. Now I'm just manipulating the pages a couple at a time just to make them so that they lay nice and flat, as you can see. Then we go over the page and we just start smoothing this one down on here. There we go. And then the last page, all nice and smooth. And that is our traveller's notebook. It does want to ping like that a little bit to start with, but once you get stuff in here and you've got your tie closure, it holds down really nicely. Okay, so let's just put, where did I put? Ah, it is in here. I usually always do put those little bits in there. So I'm just going to put my needle away so I don't lose it, and then this can just sit to the side of me. I'll put that away later. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is put some lace down the spine on here. So let's find the centre, open it out, and we were using this lace. This is not vintage looking, but I get this from Hobbycraft here in the UK. But I do enjoy using it, it's really nice. I'll just tuck that in. So there we go. So we just need to use some Fabri-Tac glue. And I've got a tissue to hand. Here we go. Get my little goober off the end. Okay. And I'm just putting Fabri-Tac glue, which is my glue of choice for anything fabricy. Put that all along there, and then I'm just going to lay that on there. A little excess glue there, that wipes off easily, and that is all stuck down. So I'll just give that a moment to dry before I bend it in half. I'm just going to grab my book corners, and we will want an eyelet as well, won't we? So we want, these are just a cheap pack from Amazon. They're not the fancy Tim Holtz ones, but I like them, they're nice, and I've used the rose gold on the corners on there. So that should be dry enough to bend. Yeah, that looks nice. So we're going to have these just on the corner. So we want my little pliers. Now I always like to put a bit of glue in the corner. And I usually actually always start at the back bottom corner, because the first one sometimes can go a bit funny. Come on, glue. So yeah, I just put a bit in the corner here. Pop that on. Keeping my finger underneath it so it stays flush with the page, and then from the center I squeeze out, and then I do the same on this side from the center, squeezing out, and then I go in the middle, squeeze the two, very softly squeezing. I'm not squeezing hard on this at all, just ever so gently squashing it down. And that is your book corner. Bit of glue it's squeezed out of there, but that's fine. That'll rub off when it's dry. Okay, so let's do this corner. And just leave the glue on its side. That's that. Put this on there, holding it flush, and start squeezing. And that's another one on. They look really nice. So we're going to do the same again on the front. A bit of glue just in the corner. Put that over, hold it down and start squeezing. There we go. So last one. There we go. All done. That look nice. So that is book corners on the Traveller's Notebook. So now what we need to do is the eyelet, and I will measure the centre for this. Let's see, we're just short of 22, so I'm going to centre it there, and half of 22 is 11. So on the 11 mark, I'm just going to put a little circle. That'll get punched out. I'm going to do the same with this side. Centre it on the board, and then 11, come in and put a little circle on there. Okay. So I'm going to do the back one first actually. So I've got some little rose gold ones in here. I can't get them out. I need my tweezers. 1, 2. There we go. Oops. Sorry about that noise. Being clumsy. So is that. That's the big hole. And then I just come in, centre it up, punch the hole. There we go. Do the same this side. Come in and punch the hole. Okay. Get rid of our waste. And the back one first. Push that in. And that way. Back out again. And squeeze it. And that's nice and flat on there. So we do the same with the front one. Squeeze down nicely and nice and flat. That's lovely. So these are just some hand-dyed thin little ribbon that I've got. I do need to just give the ends a bit of a burn. I dyed them with some Tim Holtz ink. I think, looking at them, they must have been one of the reds that I had, because I actually think they might have been left over from Christmas, but it doesn't come up as a strong red. It's a nice pale red. Okay, so we go push this in here. If I can get it through, that's it. Form a loop, pull them through, and that pulls nice and tightly. I'm going to do the same on this side. Oops, lost the centre again there. There we go. Nice and secure. So that is our journal that we'll tie up. Okay, so we're on to some lace inside it now. That was what I wanted to do next. So we used a bit of this on the front and probably on the back page. We did, yes. So we'll go with a bit of that. So again, this is newer lace from Hobbycraft, but it's got a nice vintage feel to it. Okay, so that's a piece for there. That's a piece for there. Oops. Being clumsy again, dropping things. Now, what did we have? Oh yeah, we used some of this. I don't know if I've got enough left. I haven't, of my little bit of vintage lace. So I'm going to use some of this vintage lace that I got. So let's find the next page that I think would look nice, a little bit down the side. I just wondered about down here. That's not going to hang out too much, and it's not going to cover up too much of that tag. Yeah, I think we're going to have a bit down here. So that's going to go on there. And then we'll have a look. Yeah, I think along this bit would look nice. Okay, so that's going in that page. Okay. Then I think we just put the 3, did we? Yeah, a third one with using this wide one, and I wanted to find a nice bit of some coffee dye paper to put it on. I think most of my coffee dye paper, oh there's one there, look, that's perfect, that can go on here. This is vintage stuff as well, it's lovely, really like this. Very pretty. I'll be sad when it's all gone, but I know the lady that I get it from often is able to get bits of lace. So I've got another page there. Did I put it on? Yeah, we'll have it on this side. So yeah, I'm sure I can get some other equally nice lace. And we're going to have that bit on there. And then I'm going to do another bit of this, and I'm thinking wherever my centre, yeah, down the centre. down that side. So that's some lace all put on, well not put on but all sorted, so we'll put some on. Just check my time, 45 minutes. Yeah, we've got enough time to put our lace on. I always put a bit of book page under here, and I'm just going to have my weight on here so that it holds the page down while I do some gluing. So I'm using my Fabri-Tac glue again, and I'm just gonna, if I can, not very straight, gosh, very wibbly wobbly. There we go. So I will pop that on here with just a little bit overhanging. Don't want much overhanging. There we go. That's nice. So that's one page done. That's we've got another page here. Make sure I've got this. That's the right way. Go. And again, we don't want too much overhanging because I don't want it to hang out too much from the side of the journal, but just enough. There we go, that's nice. And that's another one. Then where's our big thick wide one? Now this one I will need to go a bit wider because I only want these little scallop bits to hang out, so that's where we're going to go. Okay. Position it so that those little scallops are only just overhanging. A bit of extra glue, just wipe that off. There. Yeah, that's perfect. That's all I want, just a little bit overhanging. Lovely. Okay. Now we're on to the centre page. Okay. That one, and put that in here. Like so. Oops. Up a little bit. That one, it's looking nice. As you can see, it's not going to overhang the book, which is good. So where's our next one? Here we go. And we're coming along. Yeah. Okay. I find resting my hand down on the page, on the table rather, makes me a bit straighter. Not a great deal, but okay. Lovely scallop edge. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, and there's another bit here. Oh, it's going on this page, isn't it? Of course. I looked and thought that flips open, and I didn't want it on the flip. I want it on here. Okay. That's another one. And then the final page. So just tuck that in there. Oops. And we've got a little bit of this on here. Okay. Getting it straight. This lace wants to curve quite a bit, this one. There we go. That looks nice on there. Just clean off the glue. I don't need that anymore. And that is our journal. And when we look, it just get a little bit of a fringe on there. Not much. Same with this one, we had a little bit of a fringe just peeking out, but that's fine. That's exactly how I wanted it. I don't want it to be too much overhanging. Yeah, I like that. That's nice. So there we go. That's how I'd start the journals off. I need to do some more decorating, put in some ephemera, pockets and things like that in this journal, which I will do between now and Sunday, when I will be back with my bonus flip through video, my Etsy update, because they will be for sale in my Etsy shop, BumbleBeeCrafts by Jen. So yeah, they look nice, they look lovely. I really like them. So I hope you guys too. So thank you very much for watching and crafting along with me, and I will be back on Friday with some more fabric fun. Take care everyone, bye.